jitterbugs. Yes.
Hey, how much money we got left?
4 bits.
Better make it donuts, huh?
Yeah.
What'll it be, gents?
Have you got a couple of steaks about that big and about that thick?
Yeah, with hash brown potatoes and tomatoes and apple pie and ice cream and coffee.
And donuts, I know. Hey, Ma, Seekers, a pair.
Fingers a pair coming up.
Glad he took the tea out of that. Hey, look.
Join the John Doe Club.
John Doe Club. Uh-oh.
You John Doe?
Who?
John Doe.
Ah, you need glasses, buddy.
Oh, but it's a spitting image of John Doe.
Yeah, but his name is Willoughby.
I'm John Willoughby. I'm a baseball player.
Sure.
Oh, no, I'd know that voice anyway. You can't kid me. You John Doe. Hey, Ma! Ma! That's John Doe.
John Doe.
Yeah, sitting right there, big as life.
Who'd you say it was?
John Doe, the big guy there. Pictures in the paper. That's John Guy. John Doe. John Doe. Sitting right there, John Doe. Hey, operator. Dan's Beanery. Look, call everybody in town. John Doe was just in my place. Yeah, he ordered donuts. John Doe. See John Doe. Come on.
You're all neighbors to see John Doe. We're all neighbors. But my office is packed like a sardine box.
What does John Doe look like, Mr. Mayor?
Oh, he's one of those great big outdoor type men. No, you can't see him. You didn't vote for me the last time. Shame on you. What are you doing there? Get off my front porch anyhow. Mr. Norton come yet? Oh, well, I wonder where he's at. What's keeping him? He should have been here 15 minutes ago. Oh, there he comes now. Now, everybody on your dignity. Don't do anything to disgrace us. A little town, but we got to show off.
Better let me talk to him.
All right, but present it to him as a great cause for the common man.
Ah, here they come. Now, give him room down there. Give him room, folks. Come on, now. Come on, here they come. Here they come. Here's Mr. Norton. How do you do, Mr. Norton? I'm Mayor Hawkins. Here's Mr. Miles. Let me go, you darn fool. I'm the mayor. Mr. Norton. Mr. Norton. Mr. Norton. I'm Mayor Hawkins. Your office telephoned me to hold him.
Well, that's fine. How is he?
Oh, he's fine. He's right in my office there. You know, it's a great honor having John Doe here, and you, too. Haven't had so much excitement since the old city hall burned down. People are so excited and they'll let torch clothes off. Oh, Matilda, darling, phone the newspapers, tell them Mr. Norton's here. Step right inside, Mr. Norton. My office. Very comfortable here, Mr. Norton. Just had it air conditioned. Gangway, please. Make room for Mr. Norton. Gangway. Gangway. Here he is, Mr. Norton. Well taken care of. The neighbors are serving him a light lunch.
Hello, John.
Well, Mr. Mayor, if you don't mind, we'd like to talk to him alone.
Why, certainly, certainly. All right, everybody. Clear out. No, but you... Everybody, quickly now. Come on. Look at that. Come on. That's it. Oh, that's it. All right. Don't argue with me here. Wait till we get home.
Don't you push me around like that. Even though I'm your wife, you can't push me around.
Look, Mr. Norton, I think you got a lot of nerve having those people hold us here.
There's nobody holding you here, Mr. Doe. It's only natural that
There's nobody holding us here. Let's get going. Incidentally, my name isn't Doe. It's Willoughby.
Look, John, something terribly important's happened. They're forming John Doe clubs. We know of 8 already, and they say that there's
John Doe clubs? What for?
To carry out the principles you talked about in your radio speech.
I don't care what they're forming. I'm on my way, and I don't like the idea of being stopped either.
Oh, but you don't know how big this thing is. You should see the thousands of telegrams we've received and what they're saying about you.
Look, it started as a circulation stunt, didn't it? Well, you got your circulation. Now, why don't you let me alone?
Oh, it started as a circulation stunt, but it isn't anymore. Mr. Norton wants to get back of it and sponsor John Doe clubs all over the country. He wants to send you on a lecture tour.
Me?
Uh-huh.
Well, certainly, with your ability to influence people, it might grow into a glorious movement.
Say, let's get something straight here. I don't want any part of this thing. If you got an idea I'm going around lecturing to people, why, you're crazy. Baseball's my racket, and I'm sticking to it. Come on, Colonel, let's get out of here.
John,
Please, please. I just got rid of one crowd.
But please, Mr. Mayor, tell him the John Doe Club wants to talk to him.
Let them in, Mr. Mayor. Let them come in.
Okay, folks, but remember your manners. No stampeding. Walk slow, like you do when you come to pay your taxes.
Okay. All right, give me a chance.
Come right in.
My name's Bert Hansen, Mr. Doe. I'm the head soda jerker at Schwabacker's drugstore. Well, sir, you see, me and my wife, we heard your broadcast, and we got quite a bang out of it, especially my wife. Kept me up half the night saying, that man's right, honey. The trouble with the world is nobody gives a hoot about his neighbor. That's why everybody in town's sore and cranky at each other. And I kept saying, well, that's fine, but how's a guy going to go around loving the kind of neighbors we got? Old Sourpuss, for instance. You see, Sourpuss Smithers is a guy who lives all alone next door to us. He's a cranky old man and runs a second-hand furniture store. We haven't spoken to him for years. I always figured he was an ornery old gent that hated the world because he was always slamming his garage door and playing the radio so loud he kept half the neighbors up. Well, anyway, the next morning I'm out watering the lawn and I look over and there's Sourpuss on the other side of the hedge straightening out a dent in his fender. And my wife yells to me out the window. She says, go on, speak to him, Bert. And I figured, well, heck, I can't lose anything, so I yelled over to him, good morning, Mr. Smithers. He went right on pounding his fender. Was I burned? So I turned around to give my wife a dirty look, and she said, louder, louder, he didn't hear you. So in a voice you could have heard in the next county, I yelled, good morning, Mr. Smithers. Well, sir, you could have knocked me over with a feather. Old Sourpuss turned around, surprised-like, and he put on a big smile, came over and took my hand like an old lodge brother, and he said, good morning, Hanson. I've been wanting to talk to you for years, only I thought you didn't like me. And then he started chatting away like a happy little kid, and he got so excited his eyes all... Well, Mr. Doe, before we got through, I found out Smithers is a swell egg, only he's pretty deaf, and that accounts for all the noises. And he says it's a shame how little we know about our neighbors. And then he got an idea. And he said, how's about inviting everybody someplace where we can all get together and know each other a little better? Well, I'm feeling so good by this time, I'm ripe for anything. So Smithers goes around the neighborhood inviting everybody to a meeting at the schoolhouse. And I tell everybody that comes in the store, including Mr. Schwabacker, my boss. I'm talking too much. Well, I'll be doggone if over 40 people don't show up. Of course, none of us knew what to do, but we sure got a kick out of seeing how glad everybody was just to say hello to one another.
Tell me about making Sourpuss chairman.
Oh, yeah, we made Sourpuss chairman and decided to call ourselves the John Doe Club. And say, incidentally, this is my wife. Come here, honey. This is my wife, Mr. Doe.
How do you do, Mr. Doe? Sourpuss is here, too.
Oh, is he? This is Sourpuss, or excuse me, Mr. Smithers, Mr. Doe.
That's all right. If you didn't call me Sourpuss, it wouldn't feel natural.
Well, anyway, I guess nearly everybody in the neighborhood came except the Delaney's. The Delaney's live in a big house with an iron fence around it, and they always keep their blinds drawn. And we always figured that he was just an old miser that sat back counting his money, so why bother about inviting him? Until Grimes, the milkman, spoke up and he said, say, you've got the Delaney's all wrong. And then he tells us about how they canceled their milk last week and how when he found a note in the bottle, he got kind of curious-like and he sort of peeked in under the blinds and found the house was empty. If you ask me, he says, they're starving.
Old man Delaney has been bringing his furniture over to my place at night, one piece at a time, and selling it.
Yeah. And, well, sir, a half dozen of us ran over there to fetch him, and we brought him to the meeting. And what a reception they got. Why, everybody shook hands with him and made a fuss over them, and, well, finally, Mr. and Mrs. Delaney just sat right down and cried.
And then we started to find out about a lot of other people.
Yeah, sure. Well, you know Grubel, for instance.
Grubel's here. See?
Yeah, that's a... Of course, you don't know Grubel, but he's the man that everybody figured was the worst no-account in the neighborhood because he was living like a hermit and nobody would have anything to do with him. That isn't until Murphy, the postman, told us the truth. Why, Grubel, he says, he lives out of garbage cans because he won't take charity, because it'd ruin his self-respect, he says.